Good afternoon. I'm Zachariah Pleasant, and thank you for your time for my business ethics presentation on Shutterbend. Have you ever felt like there's a decrease of engagement in your social media material that you posted? Do you feel like your friends or your subscribers aren't receiving your posts? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you might have a case of being shadow banned. What is shadow banning? Well, according to the New York Times writer Liam Stack, when a person is shadow banned, their posts on their platform are rendered essentially invisible to everyone but themselves. Some of the platforms that you may experience being shadow banned are TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and much, much more social media platforms where there is social interaction. Why must we be educated about shadow banning? Because of this new age of advanced technology that we live in. Yes, we are always within arm's reach of our smartphones that contain our social media accounts. It is our way of connecting and keeping up with our friends and our family, community members, and other strangers who we want to hear our voice and our opinions about the matters that concern us. And we cannot exercise our First Amendment correctly because we are blocked or made invisible without our knowledge. It can frustrate us. It creates a form of stress because of this idea of fear of missing out, often known as FOMO. We are biologically created and embedded with this idea that we have a voice and our voice shall be heard. Some of the ways of preventing of being shadow banning that I am going to talk about are 4 components. One of the first components is don't use banned or broken hashtags on your post. Make sure that your hashtags are appropriate. You want to make sure that your hashtags are not going to offend anyone politically, religiously, sexually. So just make your hashtags appropriate for your audience. The second way of preventing being shadow banned is just make sure that you are knowledgeable about the platform's terms of service. Now, this one is tricky because we often, or I should say never, actually read the terms of services. But since we have our social media, it's like attached to our human anatomy now, because we're always, like I said, always within arm's reach of our cell phones, our smartphones that contain our social media. And we just want to be educated of the material that we can and cannot do on the social media accounts. Making a splash into our third subject of avoiding being shadow banned is just big surges on your social media accounts or flooding your account post after post after post after post of content that may or rather be disruptive, inappropriate, or misleading in any way. So just don't make it too flooded of material that is disruptive, inappropriate, or misleading in any way. The fourth component is just know your limits, because preventing being shadow banned is just avoid being reported by others. I mean, this kind of ties in all 3 of my previous arguments because of the various and multiple posts that we may have misled anyone with hashtags violating the terms of service that we may not even know now because we don't read those, or the constant rampant pour material that we fill to the brim. It may, like I said earlier, offended somebody, and when we post online, it stays online and it can be easily viewed by someone or anyone. So we want to make sure that we do not grind somebody's gears because we may have triggered a war where it's like a snowball effect of people uniting together to attack you. Now, these 4 components may be confusing to us because we are everyday people. We don't play an important role in society that we believe that we do. Because I believe that these 4 components are intended to silence important figures that we look up to or may not look up to. I mean, one of the notable people who has been shadow banned from social media is our previous president, Donald J. Trump. I'm only going to mention him because I'm sure that we all are aware of how active he plays or played an important role on his social media platform. He has been shadow banned due to the constant material that he posted on his social media accounts. He's a prime candidate of a notable person being shadow banned because, like I mentioned, he is an important figure, which I believe is an important part, that expresses his thoughts and ideas of certain subject that he believes that it is important to him and he wants other people to be heard about. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.